This is T Spilling TV. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Today we are talking about a Memphis young boy. His mama is crying out. It happened in 2024 on Rolling Street. On Rolling Street, you guys, in Memphis, Tennessee. He was at a party, you guys. Somebody was shooting, and they, shooting him in the head. Um, she had came to the scene. She didn't know anything until, she didn't know too much, what was going on with her son until she went to the hospital. They had already rushed him to Regional 1. And then they went to another party. And that's when it happened, you guys. It went from one party to another party. And that's when it happened. Somebody had started shooting, and then he ended up getting caught in the crossfire, basically. They don't know who did it. They still don't know who did it, but she said she fighting for to find who killed her son. And this some crazy stuff, y'all. And I feel like, him being 16 years old, he should have never been in no party. He should have never been in no party without her. Without her being somewhere or you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be at least a family member party or something like that, if you're gonna be at a party at 16 years old. You should be like at a family party or something like that, but not as like somebody like around his age and stuff like that, at a family party, but not just in a random party. Now I don't get that. I don't get that. And she didn't feel like nothing was wrong with him being at a party at that age, and it wasn't a family event. But let's get into it. I hate this happening to this young guy. Still pray for him and his mother, even though this happened in 2024. Let's get into it, you guys.
Time check 6:23. The phone call no parent wants to get their child has been shot. Well, this nightmare became a reality for one Memphis mother.
And over a year later of frustration and sadness, that mom is still fighting for answers. That's in this week's edition of Manhunt Monday.
Sad, frustrated, and on a mission to find answers. Jessica Kaiser's 16-year-old son, Jeremiah Arnold, was killed on Roland Street in Midtown in March of 2024. Kaiser says that night Jeremiah left a party and took several friends to another party in Midtown. She says it was close to 11 that night and almost time for Jeremiah to start heading home.
I'm checking the 360 app and I'm like, why is he in Midtown area? I'm like, I don't know anything about that area, and he definitely doesn't know anything about the area.
So she called Jeremiah and told him to come home.
So, I'm like, it's 5 minutes and past. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, still in the same location off of Rolling Street. So I started back calling his phone. No answer. I text him. No answer.
That's when Kaiser started to get worried.
The next 10 minutes, I get a phone call from one of his friends. And when I picked up the phone, he was like, I think Jeremiah's been shot.
Kaiser says Jeremiah's friend told her that as they were walking to the car to leave, someone drove by, opening fire on them. Kaiser says she rushed to the scene to check on her son.
I pull up on the street and I see the police, the ambulance, and the fire trucks on the scene. And at the end of that corner down there, it was yellow tape.
Paramedics told her Jeremiah had already been rushed to Regional 1 hospital.
I get in the emergency room, and the guy from the chapel met me in there. He talked to me, and he was like, this is very critical. We're going to have a nurse to come in and talk to you. But he was like, Jeremiah was shot in the head, and it's pretty critical.
Kaiser says a few minutes later, Jeremiah's doctor came out to update her on his condition.
I think they said the way the bullet went in, he lost his eye. And he was like, I just don't know if he's going to make it.
Sadly, Jeremiah did not survive. And that's when Kaiser says she lost it.
I wish he had just stayed home that day instead of going to no party at all.
1 year later, Kaiser is still waiting for her son's killer to be arrested, and she hopes that someone will call Memphis police and tell them who pulled the trigger.
Everything that's done in the dark is going to come to the light. and I'm not going to stop until I get justice for my son.
If you know who killed 16-year-old Jeremiah Arnold, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH.
Yeah, that's the end of that news clip. But y'all pray for Jeremiah and his mother, you guys. Pray for him. Even though he's not here, no longer with his parents, no longer with his family. Pray for him and his family, you guys. His mother still, she just can't believe it still. Even though it had happened a year ago, you guys. She still can't believe this. And they was, his friends was basically saying that they was walking to the car and somebody opened fire and ended up shooting him in the head. I don't think he was the target. I think it was just probably like a random shooting and it ended up hitting him in the head. And it went from there. I feel like he shouldn't have been at a party at 16 years old if he wasn't supervised by like a family member. He should have been. I'm just saying if he is 16-year-old, he should have been at least at a family event, like a party. Somebody around his age, and his mother probably should have been there, or things in that nature. But him just at a random party and then going from one party to another party, that was too much for a 16-year-old to be doing out, that time of the night, you guys. And that's why she was checking on him, because she probably knew that it was something else going on. She probably had a feeling that it was something going on or something was about to go on, whether it was, intentionally or not intentionally, okay? And but I feel like when young boys at this age, they don't need to be at no party other than a family member party. And sometimes it ain't even good to go to family member party because people get mad, people get to arguing, and people be under drinking and all that stuff, and anything can happen at a family member party as well. Everybody take things differently, and and things just happens, you guys. Things happen. It don't have to happen, but it happens. I just hate this happened to this young guy. He young, had a whole life ahead of him. 16-year-old really is a baby. Still, he's somebody's baby. Just somebody's baby still. He's a young boy, but he's still somebody's young child. He still was a child. Shouldn't have never been at a party with his friends. He should have been at probably at an event with his mother and at a party. It is a family party, but not just a regular party. Just going somewhere and party. 16 years old. Come on now. Who doing it? Who letting their child be out at 16 years old and at a party, some random party? Come on now. And he ain't just going to one party. He went to another party. Y'all, this, whoever did this to this young man, they wrong for it. They wrong for it. And they should come up and say, he wasn't an attention target. We were shooting at something, at somebody, and the bullet ended up hitting him some kind of way. At least come out and just say that. Y'all, this is crazy. And another thing too, you guys. I don't know what he was an obedient child, but it says in the Bible all the time, when you're obedient to your parents, you don't live your days. You don't live all your days out. Don't know was he was an obedient child or not. Don't know that. I can't say that because I don't know this child at all. But they say in the Bible, when you're obedient, you don't live your days at all. Most of the time, some people that be obedient, they live a long time, but it's a time in their life that they don't be on this earth. It's a time for everybody. Not to say this on his case because I don't know whether he was obedient child. Don't nobody know that but God, him, and his mother and his family members. That's them only people that know. But I hate this happened to this young guy. He had a whole life ahead of him. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But on that note, you guys, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hit that notification bell so y'all can be notified every time your girl T Spilling is coming with a live or a video, you guys. And let's get it.